What's up, y'all? Okay. I like to get it in the middle of the night. I don't know. I just can talk better, I guess. But I'm going to redo this video I made about Fresh and Fit. Um, Fresh and Fit. I did want to talk about them. I was going to let this video fly by night, but it just, when something on your soul, you just got to address it. And now that I'm making YouTube the camera my best friend, well, best friend, we about to talk. Because it's your girl, Kana Kane. And in the meantime and in between time, yeah, your girl's coming to you with another video. So Fresh and Fit, yeah, most people on YouTube, I'm pretty sure you're aware who they are. But if you're not, let me go over this one more time. So Fresh and Fit is a podcast. They went viral recently because Asian Doll, which is a female rapper that was on their show, had an altercation with Fit. Um, and the altercation really seemed like a setup to me. I seen an interview with Asian Doll recently, and she told how she even was introduced on the show. And I thought to myself, they kept begging her because she agreed to go on the show, then she canceled, and they kept calling her and calling her and calling her. And when she actually showed up after 2 hours of them, almost 2 hours of them calling her, she actually showed up and she said, as soon as she got in the building, they were telling her, shh, God, shh. And I said, oh yeah, they set her up. They was trying to make it seem like she was loud and this and that. And then, who's to say he told the girl, I didn't see the podcast, but who's to say, that he told the girl 4 and 5 times to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so Asian Doll is on the show. There's a sidebar conversation. I'm thinking that the girl is trying to update Asian Doll on what their conversation is because she didn't know what was going on. She kept saying she was trying to get people to let her know what was going on. She walked into, you know, I mean, she walked into people she didn't know, the situation, what they were talking about. So, there. Um, Fit tells the lady that's having the sidebar conversation to be quiet. So, of course, he was rude with the lady, and Asian Doll just was like, "That you mean as AF." And I mean, the music stopped. He was like, "What did you say?" And it just went from there. It was just bad back and forth, and Fit for a minute was trying to throw her off the show, and Fresh, which is the other co-host, was like, "Nah, she don't have to go nowhere." But I'm glad that Agent Doll took the liberty to just remove herself because, first of all, I'm a celebrity, and if you think you're gonna be rude to me like that, but I'm glad she took the high road and didn't get ghetto, and she stayed in her lane, which was, I was proud of her. So and then he acts like he left for a minute and he's acting all mad and just out of line. But the main thing that kind of had me really upset is he was like, who is she? And so one of the other girls was like, you don't know who she is? She's King Von's girl. He's like, King Von, I know, but I don't know who she is. And I'm thinking, boy, stop lying. Because King Von and Asian Doll was each other's liver and lung when they was an actual couple. You couldn't know King Von without knowing Asian Doll. Because one thing I did made me really like King Von is the fact that, okay, not the fact that he was a real life gangster, but the fact that he could love and not be embarrassed to show it he was vulnerable. Like, that was so sexy. I'm thinking a hardcore gang member, actual gangster, being this soft when it come to love. That was romantic. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm in La La Land, but I thought that was everything. And it made me know that there's two sides of King Von. He really couldn't want to be the gangster he is. It just was the environment he grew up in. So, but back to Fresh and Fit. So, Fresh and Fit, that once that video went viral, um, it made a lot of other things that they've said in the past, uh, come back up again. Like they had videos and different videos where they were calling women Shaniqua. If you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, we not down with the brown, but if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go ahead. Or saying that black women are the lowest of the rating pool or poll. Um, it's been other things that they said, just really really dogging out black women. And if you want to catch some videos, how you got to do is just put in their name and it'll come right up, you'll see it. But they just really put an attack on black women, which doesn't surprise me, because to me the attack on black women is such a money maker. Ask Kevin Samuels, Tommy Sotomayor, and of course, Fresh and Fit are new. They trying to come up in the game. But I just think that when you put an attack on women like they're doing, and I say women because right now it's black women, but just let me keep explaining and I'll get to it. So, like I said, attacking black women is easy and it's very profitable, because we are no one cares for the black woman. We are unprotected, which a lot of people notice. And, us just being black people are unprotected, first of all. But, having a woman, period, is unprotected too. But having a black woman on the scene is unprotected. And, I get sick of these platforms like Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit, that from men who, I'll get into that in a minute. I want to say suspect, but I'll get into that for a minute. I feel like it's so much easier to attack us because, again, we are not protected by anybody. And, it's okay. Everybody's okay as long as you're not attacking them. And I'm talking women wise, but they want us to think as black women that we're unworthy of anything. We're so ratchet. We're so, just, we're so unsubmissive. We don't submit, and we're too independent, and we're worried about education and money, having our own money, and, things that you should be doing, because there's no guarantee you might get married and you want to be able to take care of yourself and live your life. But, the mind games that men play, especially on black women, because our community is more dysfunctional than, like a Latinos, the white, Caucasians, they kind of still are ethnicities, Asians, Indians, even Africans, all other ethnicities are still keen on marriage. But the black community in the U.S., there's a shortage in marriage and just commitment, period. Now there's a lot of babies and stuff, but when it comes to fathers in the household, it's just it's just not there. The numbers are not there. The family foundation is not there, and it's just a mess. And it's caused a mess within the black community. And I feel, again, that's why it's so easy to attack us, because we don't have that village, you know what I'm saying? So, but never believe, black woman, that you're not worthy, because I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, since slavery, the black woman has been very, very valuable. She's been profitable in every way, and the black woman has always worked. She's always had to have the common sense to keep it all together. If she had breast milk, not only was she feeding her children with her own breast milk, but she was feeding the master's children with her breast milk, taking care of his children as well as her own family, picking his cotton, cooking his food, and being his bed wench and bearing his children at times. Dealing with the fact that her children were sold off and never seen again. I mean, the black woman had to be one of the strongest human beings on this earth. That I will say clearly. And she's brought us thus far till this day. And don't think she's not one of the most creative women today. And our heart and soul is still in everything. It really is. A lot of stuff don't fly without our touch. And that's just the reality of it, because everybody wants big lips, big hips, and brown skin these days. So I'm just keeping it kind of 100. I'm not just trying to toot the black woman's horn, but I wanted to make it make sense. And I don't want any person of color to hate their skin because they're being picked on, or they're being hated, or they're being disliked or talked about because they're black. And a lot of that going, you have a lot of black people who don't know who they are, like these two. Kevin Samuels, I can say he's just being mean, because he say a lot of things is contradictory and just bad advice. And so does Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit are a podcast of men who basically are like mentors to other men who can't get the girl, or cootie cat. That's what I'm going to call it. Cootie cat. You know what cootie cat is. They can't seem to know how to lay a woman or get laid. And I think that it's like they give out bad advice too. They've told men don't get married. They teach men how to mistreat women and be mean to them in exchange of making the woman salute and respect them. And I'm like, a lot of times when you talking to a certain type of audience of dweebs, and they don't have the swag to be doing that. Because if they did, they wouldn't need your help. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what Fresh and Fit's podcast is about. Helping men out on how to really be maliciously mean to women and how to get laid, basically. But I find a problem with that. So recently, Fit go by a couple of names, so I don't even know who he is. And I have a name I'll put in the description where you can go to Tanya TKO. Her video, she got more footage and dialogue for you as far as who this Myron guy is, so that you can see the pictures and get a little information that she has and background about supposedly Myron Gaines, who is Fit. Myron recently has these pictures where he's compromised in position with another man. And I see why he's not down with the brown, because, it's a Caucasian man. And one shot, he's kissing, the white guy's kissing him on the cheek. The next shot, Fit is in the bed with the white guy, and there's another white guy in the bed, and the white men are shirtless. But, it doesn't mean that he's gay, but it puts a spark in you as what if? And that's kind of where I'm going to be coming from today, as far as, I could put Tommy Sotomayor in it, but I don't think Tommy is a down low man. I do kind of agree, or I'm leaning towards an agreement with maybe allegedly what I'm about to say is Kevin Samuels allegedly is a down low, and so maybe Fit is allegedly a down low man, because both of them have been in compromising videos or some type of footage with men in their way. And the hate speech that comes from them also kind of make you curious of why do they just keep dogging women. And it just makes you want to think, the devil always have a plan. And he always comes to kill, steal, and destroy. I've watched other people's basically videos and what they have to say about this whole viral video with Asian doll, but I like everybody's perspective. I think everybody had a point and great perspectives, but I think that mine is just a little bit different because it's about spiritual warfare. And I think that we sometimes don't put spiritual warfare and attach it to stuff like this because we're taking God out of everything. We are taking God and demonic attacks. We're taking it out of everything, and we're going with these explanations that are good but not good enough because you got to really hit the source. And that's why I say the devil come to kill, steal, and destroy. And a lot of times people don't realize that they make their heart available by being evil and just doing evil things that conjure up to being able to be used and be a force and a weapon for Satan. And that's kind of where I'm coming from with it. I feel like the attacks on women coming from men like Fresh and Kevin Fresh and Fit and Kevin Samuels are really an attack on men's masculinity as well as trying to get through that door through women. Like the Satan has always who did he use in the beginning? He used Eve to get through the door to make disobedience and sin be a nature. You know what I'm saying? So again, he's trying to use hate through women, or hate not through women, but hate for women, sorry, as a tool to open up the door. And let me kind of explain what I mean by that. So anybody my age knows who President Nixon is. And if you don't know who President Nixon is, Google, do some of your research and find out that President Nixon was the president who brought drugs to America. And when they brought drugs to America, the whole plan was to kill, steal, and destroy the black community. And they put drugs in many, many black ghettos in America. So, okay, but what they didn't think of is how, once the drugs became an epidemic, it crossed over into, everybody. It crossed over to, the rich, the poor, the mediocre. Everybody got hit under this drug epidemic, and it became a USA problem. It was in a lot of households. And so then they wanted to get you help. Then once it became a problem for everybody or anybody, it didn't care what color, woman, child, anybody. That's when they wanted to build rehabilitation centers and get people help. But it was reckless. It was just outnumbered, outweighed. So to me, when the devil come like a thief in the night, like he's doing, trying to open the door with hating black women, he always start with hate. Because he know if he start with hate, like hate is like a cancer. It starts spreading and just going other places. Because you'll be mad. Have you ever been mad at one thing and you were so mad? It turned into being mad at this and being mad at that and just venturing off to you just mad. And sometimes you're a walking time bomb. And that's exactly where the devil wants you to be, because when you're angry like that, you're like a ball of confusion. Just everything is just hectic in your life. So, but again, let's go back to he want to start through black women. That's easy because first of all, women, I want women to pay attention to this point. When you have women, we always like to be better than each other too. Like we don't care if he's talking about you, but if he's praising me, I'm good. I don't care about you either because I am better than you. That's how women we generally think sometimes when we're not seeing the big picture. The big picture is this: if the devil can come in and attack the black woman, he'll start with us, but it'll trickle down to every woman. Right now is that kind of disrespect. It can put us in a dangerous position, which it has even a couple of years ago. Remember, men were attacking black women everywhere. Remember the white man attacking the worker at McDonald's, but she was whooping that behind. Or it was a time where a white man insulted a black lady and she just was defending herself, and she put out her phone and he knocked her phone out of her hand and just started beating her, unconscious. And it was like, it was attack after attack after attack after attack on black women. And when you have these kind of speeches and people just on podcasts with millions of viewers, you get a mixed um, response from people. You don't know if people want to kill us after that and think they got the right because not even black men like us or want us. And it's on the rise, the disrespect that black men have for black women and the things that they're trying to say and how they're trying to treat us and not marry us like they do. I mean, it's just, you kind of don't even know what to say to that other than it's so many lost people out there who don't understand how to love themselves, especially when you black. It's like hurt people like to hurt people, but you really are a danger to your own species. You know what I'm saying? And because again, when the door when you able to come through that door and hurt one woman, it's only a matter of time until you start picking on all women and the entire female human female race will be under attack. They'll be treating us like third world country women in a minute because, one thing about the lie is that they try to make us seem so different. And women, we're all women. We all, some of the same things we argue about and we have in common. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that's different is our skin color and maybe culture. Other than that, we really are the same in a lot of ways. I'm speaking from experience too. I got two dogs in this fight. I have one son who speaks like Kevin Samuel and a Fresh and Fit, and I just don't understand him. The first thing I told him is, you must dislike me because there's no way you can talk in agreement like those men and the way they talk about women and say things about women. It's a reason why you hate women. And one, it would have to start with you dislike me. Two, it's because you can't get the women like you want to get them. And I said some other stuff, and he kind of was in agreement with me as far as he tried to say, "Mom, I don't hate you," but I was like, you couldn't love me doing that because I didn't raise you like that. So I don't know where you getting that kind of verbiage from about females. You've been hurt. And he said, yeah, I've been hurt. I get that part. My second dog in the fight is I have a son who his preference is white girls too. Because Fresh and Fit, they claim that their preference are dating white girls, and this is the reason for people get mad when they just state their preference. But no, people get mad because you're dogging and attacking one race of women to uplift another race of women, and you basically are hurting yourself because you're a black man and you don't see what kind of damage that does to your entire race, not just black. Because look, the color black, brown, whatever you want to call yourself, but you know that you're African American, what have you, it hurts us all in the long run, and we're all unprotected at the end of the day if you really want to look at it. But it's more sad when you have people that should be down with their own race to understand enough that we need to always stick together. It ain't no matter what. It's just, for protection, to be unified under any circumstances and situations that might arise, right? So, my son, who also has the preference of white, he knows better than to ever talk like that. But the danger of all of this is, again, the devil come to steal, kill, and destroy. And I really feel like when men are possibly, allegedly, maybe down low men who are not keeping it 100 and honest with their true sexuality, I think every liar has a hidden agenda. Now, I'm not going to just say these men are gay, but let's just say that could be the situation, right? Then what problem do you also have? If you're trying to take women out of the picture, which, I know they'll say they're not trying to take women out the picture, but let me tell you something that Fit has said. He said, there's nothing special about women. They're just a whole. There's nothing special about women. They're just a whole. Think about that now. There's nothing special about women. They're just a whole. Who else have holes? We all have a hole. And when you downsize a woman to be nothing but a hole, you'll end up substituting that hole for any hole because it's just a hole. Be very careful what kind of information you take from people and how you let people fill your head, because your subconscious picks up a lot of things and begin to decipher, right? Now, I am saying that, when you do damage control about women and them not being submissive and not being good enough and this and that, you're talking such a hate speech to sometime disconnect you to even loving women or desiring them in a way. And that can sometimes pull you or slowly nag you from your masculinity. Where am I going with this, right? I'm going here with it. Be very careful of the people you get information from if you don't know their true intentions. If they're not being honest about their sexuality, they could be misleading you to sabotage you from having affiliation with women, period, so they can get you to the other side. So you have to protect your masculinity. Now, I know some people think, oh, she doing too much or she saying too much, but it's the truth. You have to be very, very careful. The Bible really tells us, do not take, counsel from the ungodly. When people are not serving God, there's times that you should not, or they don't know who he is, or they're not in favor of him. You should not be taking counsel from them, because one thing I kind of see about like Kevin Samuels and Fit, they're not giving men advice, good advice. If you're telling somebody don't get married, that's against the plan of God, because your foundation of family is marriage and it starts with marriage, right? So when you are hearing certain things that go against the order that we have made, wrong, we made Shaq right. Test the card. I gotta know how he worked before I can be with a man. I even like the show Married at First Sight, but I've been talking about Married at First Sight or giving reviews on it, and there's Alyssa and Chris, and even Alyssa is throwing a tantrum because Chris is not handsome enough to be her husband, and she's just showing out right now. But it's that kind of stuff where we're not even looking for people for love and loving the characteristics. We spoiled. We want looks instead of anything else. And so these men are talking such a hate speech that you gotta remember, brainwashing is slow. It kills you softly. It doesn't come in a big bang. People have to work on you. The devil has to work on you. He has to work on your mind. Men send Fresh and Fit and Kevin Samuels big money when they talk against women, but it brings such a division and such a hate for women. Women, look, white woman, Mexican woman, Asian woman, you might think that they're just picking us out right now, but it's going to fold over to you too. And we all going to be in danger. Trust me. It happened with the drug epidemic, and it also happened when cops was killing black men. They killed white people too. It spills over whenever you allow evil to get cocky. It begins to run havoc in your life. And it then doesn't care who is hurting. Evil will start to attack anybody. And I felt like I should just speak up and let somebody know, hey men, I know y'all think it's cute, but your masculinity is on the line, especially if you don't know if these brothers really are down low and what their true intentions are. There's no way that the hate speech come out their mouth don't have an agenda attached to it. It does. And it's slowly interrupting the plan of God, but it's also bringing you in order for things to come. You may not hear me out, but I'm telling you. So I don't know. That was just my spiritual warfare warning of something I felt in my spirit. I felt like you're being duped, tricked, and fooled out of your position to love one another. It's a way to put man against woman and woman against man. It's a way to use racism as a. These are all distractions. These are all distractions for the real plan of Satan. And that's to put hate in your heart. You can never enter into the kingdom with the hate in your heart. Your life gets interrupted with the wrong hate in your heart. You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to put you under his management so that, you know, when you move and operate, there's going to be a cursing somewhere. Trust me. So just kind of remember this is a spiritual warfare, and be very, very, very careful of what information you allow to download in your spirit. And yeah, this is another video from your girl. I didn't want to be too long. I hope y'all got the point. You know, it's a spiritual warfare. Be very careful. Watch what you're receiving in your heart. If you don't know how to love, if you don't know how to get a woman, women, continue to love each other, all of you, and just beware. All right. Thank you. Bye.